Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue sur Histoires et Révélations. Aujourd'hui, je reçois de nouveau Christen Janick pour un témoignage qui dérange autant qu'il interroge. Un parcours qui traverse la transition, puis la détransition et qui vient percuter de plein fouet un débat de société extrêmement sensible. Entre souffrance intime, choix irréversible, expérience spirituelle et prise de parole publique, une question me semble essentielle. Comprend-on vraiment ce qui se joue derrière les trajectoires identitaires? Dans cet entretien, je ne vais pas simplement revenir sur une histoire, je vais aussi questionner les décisions, les influences, les angles morts et ce que ce parcours dit, non seulement d'une personne, mais aussi d'un système, d'une époque et peut-être même de notre propre certitude. Bonsoir Janick et merci d'avoir accepté mon invitation.
Hi, Zeljko. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's such an honor for me to be with you tonight.
Je serai accompagné ce soir pour la traduction en anglais avec Paul Penseau.
Bonsoir Zeljko, bonsoir Janick.
Janick, est-ce que tu pourrais te présenter?
So could Janick introduce herself?
Yeah, my name is Janick Christen. I'm very glad to be here with you guys. So welcome on this YouTube channel. I'm the founder of Trans for Freedom, which is an association helping people who are struggling with their identity. So here you have all the information. You can follow us on social media for sure: Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and also we have some podcasts. So I encourage you to visit our website, which is transforfreedom.com, and you will see a lot of different things, and especially the schedule with all the new conferences and events that we are doing. So I'm a detransitioner. I would say like this. I was trans and I lived in a male body for almost 15 years. And then I came back to my formal identity. So it's a huge journey for sure. It's very special, and I'm very glad to share it with you today.
Ok. Est-ce que tu peux nous dire si d'ici quelques temps, si tu fais des conférences?
Yes, sure. In May and June, I will be in Mulhouse. I will also go to Saverne, Saint-Réunion. I encourage you just to go on transforfreedom.com and visit this page, which is events. And also, you can invite me for sure. I would be more than glad to come and give a conference where you are.
Et on va continuer avec la publication de ton livre. Donc, je te laisse la parole.
So, first of all, I wrote my book in French, which is my native language, and then I really had in my heart to do it in English very very soon, and so starting December 2025. The book Now Transformed is now available on Amazon. So I'm very happy with it. It's a good translation. I used professional people to do it, and I encourage you to go on Amazon and to find it. You can buy it on, like a normal book, but also on Kindle.
Ce soir, pour cette interview, on n'est pas là pour pointer du doigt et juger. On est plus là pour un témoignage, justement pour réveiller les consciences des personnes qui sont en souffrance ou qui peuvent se poser des questions. Moi, je suis pas là pour juger, pour dire ce que tu as fait, c'est bien, ce que tu fais, c'est pas bien. Je suis pas là pour juger. On est là parce que voilà, où tu avais expliqué ton histoire et moi, ça m'avait touché ton histoire parce que j'avais compris ta souffrance et puis et je pense qu'il y a des millions et des millions de personnes, de jeunes filles, de jeunes garçons qui sont dans le même état d'esprit, qui sont en souffrance. Mais le problème, c'est qu'il y a personne qui vienne les aider. Ils sont tout seuls. Donc, avec ton témoignage, Si on peut allumer une petite lumière, on aura gagné
Yeah,
et c'est ce qu'il y a de plus important.
absolutely.
Paul?
So, just to say that all Janick's information will be available in this interview. Her address, everything on her website. So, but don't hesitate to send her questions.
Yeah,
It's very important.
absolutely.
Tu veux rajouter quelque chose, Janick?
Well, you said that people like young people finding themselves with this problem, they don't have any help. And actually, I just want to balance this a little bit because it's not that they don't have any help, is that the help they have is telling them only one thing. Maybe your problem is that you are a boy in a female body, or maybe you are a female into a man's body. So you can change it. It's not a problem. So there is only one direction given to them without even maybe explaining all the consequences of this. And I'm like, this is very crazy. I would love for us to be able to stop it, even for one one guy or one girl. I just want to say it's not just a game. It's not just like, okay, it's maybe funny. I want to try it. No, it's it's something, it's terrible to go through this journey. So I would love just to balance a little bit what you said.
Euh, en, en fait, voilà, il n'y a pas l'information qui circule par rapport aux conséquences de ces transformations, aux conséquences physiques et, et psychologiques de toutes ces transformations. Donc, c'est très important que Janick souligne toutes ces conséquences.
Oui et j'ai oublié aussi de préciser, on parle souvent des personnes qui sont dans cette situation, mais les familles, les parents, eux aussi sont en souffrance. La famille est proche et c'est très important, la famille et donc voilà, je voulais, préciser ça.
So for Janick, it's family that's the most important. That's the heart of the matter, and that's what Jellicoe really wants to emphasize.
Alors, est-ce que tu peux commencer, Jannick et nous raconter ton histoire?
So, Jenny, can you tell us your story?
Oh, yeah, sure. So here I am, maybe 2 years old, and you see a little girl, like smiling girl. But actually, I don't know, but as 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 far as I can go into my memories, I think I was 4 years old when I already find myself like, okay, I'm a boy. And later on, I will marry a woman and we will have children together. And the perception I had from myself was I'm a boy. And at the age of 2, so maybe the age I'm here on the picture, at the age of 2, I was already hitting my belly, saying, "No baby, no baby," as a rejection of my femininity. It's crazy when you think on that. I was already rejecting the possibility to maybe be a mother one day. So I started very, very early in my life rejecting who I was. I was sure that I was a boy. I was seeing me as a boy. And then the more I was growing up, the more it was hard for me because people were identifying myself as a girl. And I was like, no, I'm a boy. And I grew up in a Christian family, so I was used to go to church, read the Bible, and also I grew up into a very dysfunctional family. My father and my mother, they went themselves into a lot of different troubles and abuse, and they didn't want to replicate this, but actually they didn't work on their own, you know, wounds, and actually they started to be abusive with me, um, different kind of abuse, violence, and because of this, I felt so bad. I didn't have any feeling of belonging, of being loved. I just find myself very lonely, and also because I was sure I was a boy. So at school, I wanted to play with boys, and they were like, "No, you're just a girl." And the girls, they didn't want to play with me because I was a little, tough with them. So I find myself very, very lonely. And then at the age of 11, I had my periods, which was like traumatic for me. It was terrible. And because my body was saying, yes, you definitely are a woman. And I was not able to hear this. I was like, no, I don't want, I'm not. And my body was saying, yes, you are. So that was very painful for me. And then the more I was growing up, you can maybe put the picture number two. I was in this picture number two. I was 14 years old, wearing very large, clothes. I don't know if I have to stop for him to. So here I am. I think I'm 14 or 15, and I'm wearing, very large clothes, and I'm not able to love this body. Now I really start to develop it. It's developing itself, and I'm like, oh, I don't like it at all. So I'm rejecting myself a lot, and because of all of this, at the age of 16, I just wanted to kill myself. I was not able anymore to stay in this body, and also to feel so lonely, so rejected, so like I don't belong to anyone, and I don't see any. I was not able to see any future for me. So at the age of 16, I commit suicide, and I was found the day later. I was in coma, and it's a miracle if I'm still alive today. The doctor said to my parents that I will not go through it. And then I was for 3 months in a psychiatric hospital. And then for 4 years in a foster family. And I was 17 in this foster family when, for the first time, as I was watching a show on TV, I heard the word transsexual. It was the first time I heard this word. Before this, I didn't know what I had, and it was like I'm thinking it was like 30 years ago. We were not talking about trans identity, transsexualism. Um, so I didn't know, but here watching this show, I was listening to this girl thinking she was a boy, and what was she was saying, I just was able to relate to this, and I was like, oh, this is me. So it was a shock. First, it was a shock, and then um, it looked like to me at the same time an answer. I was I was looking for a solution, but when I heard that, she was saying that you have to go through surgeries, I was like, oh my. And especially because I had faith conviction in my heart. And because of this, I was in trouble. Because in my heart, I was sure that God was not the one making a mistake by creating me as a girl. So I was like, So I recorded the show, but I didn't watch it since, I put it on my shelf and I didn't touch it anymore for 3 years. And I started to date my first girlfriend. And as we were together, I asked her to talk to me as a man. So she did, and I liked it a lot. And then we broke after 2 years, and here I started to accept my femininity. I was like, okay, you have to try again. It's gonna be more simple if you can accept your femininity. So try it. So I went to see two ladies. They were doing counseling, and I came to them and I said, well, I think I'm a boy and I'm prisoner from this body and I need help. And oh my gosh, they were like, okay. So they tried to understand what my problem was. They tried to understand why I was rejecting my femininity. And they really tried. They did their best to help me. But after a few months, I was like, okay, I'm not able. Because the turning point was I tried to be in a relationship with a man. And as I tried it, and we were just coming closer to each other, I just felt like I was an homosexual. I know it can sound weird, but the fact that I was looking at myself as a man, when suddenly we were getting closer, I was like feeling I'm a boy with another boy. I was like, it's not possible. And so I I left the man and I was like, okay, I'm a trans. I just have to accept it. And then I met another girl. I present her the show I spoke earlier, and then she watched it and she was like, "Well, it's like it's you," and I said, "Yeah," and she said, "Well, I will help you." So we went to visit her doctor, and then he sent us to a doctor which is working with the hormones. And I shared my story to him. Then he was like, "Okay, you really are a man. I will help you." Then for 2 years, I had to live my life as a man, but I didn't have any treatment, any surgery. In Switzerland at that moment, I'm saying like 25 years ago, yeah, you had to live like a man without nothing for 2 years. And during this time, you had to visit a doctor, psychiatrist, do a lot of different tests to say, yes, this is really a dysphoria, gender dysphoria, or not. And after 2 years, the diagnostic was, yes, you have gender dysphoria. So this opened the door for me to start the hormonal therapy and then to go through surgery. Um, you are
Oui,
muted.
oui, parle de son, parcours, de ses difficultés quand elle était petite, des tentatives de suicide, qu'elle se sentait pas bien, de toutes les
Ouais,
difficultés qui sont connectées, voilà, pour faire très,
yes.
très court.
So here I am 25 years old, and I can introduce you to Frank. I choose the name of Frank. And as for me, it was like, okay, my life is now starting. It was like if everything that I've dreamed of before was coming to become real. And then I met Laurence. We were dating. Here I was still 25, so we started to date just after my surgeries, and we fell in love for sure. And 4 months later, we get married. And let me tell you that we were very happy. We had a very wonderful marriage. We were very happy together, very in love. So that's what I can say. And as for me, I was more and more frank, completely in this new identity. And the people that were meeting me were they had no clue of my past for sure, because I was not like playing a role. For me, I was just living my best life. So this picture was taken the day before we left for Canada. Laurence and I, we were celebrating 10 our 10 anniversary of marriage, and so we wanted to celebrate it in a special way. As for us, it was not, okay, we go 2 weeks on an island, or no, we wanted something more deep, and we wanted to serve 1 year in a organization, non-profit, organization in Canada. So we sent them a letter that we wanted to go and serve, and they were very excited because they were looking for volunteers. So this picture was taken just one day before. And when we left for Canada, something very huge happened. So I will go into it now, if you agree. Um, so I was there. Um, we were there for maybe 8 or 6 months. 6 months, I think. Yeah, and I wanted more in my life. I mean, spiritually, I was looking for God into a new dimension. I was seeking Him, and I was really like thirsty and hungry for more. And I remember going into this room. It was my prayer room. And I just cried out to God, saying, Lord, I love your hand. I mean, your blessings. I love this, but I want more. I I want you. And I remember, it was not just a prayer like this. I was real, authentic, and I was desperate for him. And as soon as I said this, I heard in my heart, deeply in my heart, well, you want more of me, but as you are at the best level you can. If you want more of me, there is a price to pay. And as soon as he said that, I knew what it was, the price. I knew it. And he added two things. He said, if you trust me, I will restore you in your former identity. And the second thing he said, if you don't change, my love for you will not either. So then I was in front of this silence, and this silence was just huge. I realized I had a choice. God was offering me a possibility to, let me tell you this, to repent. What is repentance? It's a turning point, when you realize that you are living something in a wrong direction. It's like if you're supposed to go to Paris, and then you're driving and you see that you are going to Rome, and you're like, okay, it's wrong way. I have to do a U-turn. And I just felt this in my spirit. I just felt it. I was like, okay, it's like if the lie I believed from my early age was just exposed and broken. And so was I, completely broken with the idea to let my wife, to let my life, to let everything that I built um, behind. But I knew in my heart that the best was here. And so it was a shock, but at the same time, I knew I had the choice. But I knew the best was to surrender, really surrender my life. And that's the choice I made. And we made it together because in 1 week, God also spoke to her, to Laurence, and she received the same conviction. And because of that, we chose together to divorce and asked for me to try to find the woman I was. And I can tell you, I was just scared. I was stressed. I don't know how to do it. And at first, I didn't want it. So for
Arrivé Zeljko, Janick donc a reçu comme un message de Dieu et son épouse aussi, et en recevant ce message de Dieu, c'est là où elles ont pris, Janick et son épouse, donc la décision de se séparer, de divorcer. C'est pas vraiment,
Ouais,
voilà, une connexion à quelque chose d'au-delà, voilà, qu'on l'appelle
de
Dieu
divin, ouais.
ou de divin.
Here I'm still in Canada, and I'm frustrated with God because I know I will change that the decision I made, but I'm like I'm losing everything and I'm angry with God. And so I'm very frustrated and I don't know how to do it. And I'm trying to do it by myself and I'm not able. I'm trying to pray more. I'm not able. I'm trying to fast. I'm not able. And I just have to come at the end of myself, realizing I cannot change myself. I have to surrender and to ask God to do it for me. And the only thing I have to do is to receive this huge revelation, deeper revelation of God's love for me. And I love this verse in Romans 12, the verse 2. It said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's not transform yourself, it's be transformed. It's something that God wants to do. And this verse started to be alive for me. Really, yeah, it started to be alive. I was like, okay, my only decision the only decision I have to make is to spend time with God and just seek Him. And I started to do this. And for months, I just spent time with the Lord. I was every day, I was like spending hours, I mean, hours to just seek Him. I was not able to do anything. Sometimes I was just weeping, crying. I was hurting myself. I started to drink a lot of alcohol because I had a lot of stress and anxiety, and I was, into a deep, deep. It was a disaster. I was like having this feeling to lose everything and feeling so bad, and I even wanted to kill myself. I was like, I at first it was just terrible, but then after a few months spending time with God, things started to change. And I love this picture because I already see a difference in the eyes. There is something like a lightning in the eyes. And I'm still, in between for sure. For months, I was in between. I tried to do my best to go through the transition, which was very, new at that moment. So I did everything I could uh, mm, to change. First to change my name, to remove my beard, to go through to see my doctors. What we were able to do to be back into a another body. But I just want to make a parenthesis here. It's not a game. When you go through surgery, there are things that you cannot change anymore, and so I'm now in a mutilated body for sure. Um, but it's not the point. The point is that my spirit has been completely changed and reformated. Like, it's amazing to me because I started little by little to see myself as a woman. And little by little, I was able to welcome Janick, to welcome this femininity, to see myself as a woman, to receive this gift, and this as a gift and not just as a pain. And and yeah, this was a long journey for sure. It took me like maybe 3 years and a half, and I'm still in this, discovering who I am. Like, not who I am more than, maybe more, I can say this, I'm more embracing my femininity, and in a different areas, in different ways. But it's exciting, it's an adventure, it's just amazing to me.
Donc, pour Janick, ça a été un processus de, détransition qui a été, très, voilà, très difficile. Il fallait, voir des médecins et tout ça. Le c Son corps était en plus mutilé puisque, la transition provoque des mutilations. Mais, mais Janick s'est découvert sa féminité et c'est encore une aventure qui dure, où elle se découvre constamment.
And this last picture is one of my favorite. I was invited at Legend, which is a nice YouTube channel, and I loved it because it's when I see it, I see that God has been faithful to His promise. I just know who I am now, and I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not. And I received my femininity as a gift from God now, and it's exciting, absolutely exciting. And um, I want to share this with you. One of my the more difficult thing maybe was to because I was in love with Laurence a lot, and we were married for more than 11 years. So um, and we were really deeply in love. So um, the only thing is that the more I was spending time with God, the more I saw that things in my head and in my emotions, in my heart, were changing. And a few months later, after we broke, I saw that my feelings for her were changing, and that was a miracle. And then a few months later, I saw that my attraction to women fall apart, disappeared. I was able to be with women without trying to seduce them, without trying to be the male. And this was completely new for me. And then more, I think 1 year and a half later, I was in a place and then this guy came and I looked at him and something happened inside of me. And I was 37, I think. And it was the first time I felt something in my heart for a man. And today it's amazing to me because before when I was, in a group and that men were together, I was looking at them and thinking, well, if I was one of these men, I would be this one. And now when I'm in a group and I see men, I'm like, this guy looks pretty and could be somebody I would love to date or something like this. So I could see that God really transformed everything, starting to remove my feelings for my wife and the passion I had for her, removing the desire to be with a woman and then giving me the desire to be with a man. This is amazing. And I can tell you, only God can do that. And for me, that's a miracle. And I'm excited because I'm no longer pretending. I'm no longer um, being somebody I'm not. And this is the best freedom you can have and find by being who God created you to be. So, and I wish you to, if you have, you are in trouble with your identity, whatever the problem is, I would love for you to find yourself in Him. That's my prayer for you.
Donc, donc en fait, quand elle a détransitionné, Janick a globalement vu que son attirance pour les femmes diminuait, qu'elle était avec des femmes sans vouloir être séduite et tout, donc tout a complètement changé. Quelque chose de divin qui l'a fait changer. Je simplifie au maximum.
Merci, beaucoup Janick. Donc on va continuer. Avec le recul, qu'est-ce que tu comprends aujourd'hui que tu ne pouvais absolument pas voir au moment où tu étais dans la transition?
What do you understand today, that you couldn't see when you were transitioning? What have you seen that you couldn't see when you were transitioning?
Um, I can tell you that the most dangerous thing is that you have an idea. And when you have this idea, it's like a focus, and there is nothing or nobody can speak into your life. You are just focused in this direction. Okay, I'm a boy, I need to be a boy, or I'm a girl, I need to be a girl. And it's like a garage, it's like shutting you from everything else that would be able to speak or to introduce you to something different. No, it's like this direction, and you are going into it with such conviction. I was I was sure of myself. And this is very dangerous. There is like a point where you are no longer able to receive advice or to receive maybe a, are you sure? Like a warning. You're not able, no longer, any longer able to receive any warning. You are just like in your, you are focused in your mindset and you just want to go into it. And this is very dangerous because the consequences are just huge. Yeah, if you go through all the steps, you are just changing and you are broken something that is very um, sacred in your life. It's you are changing, you are touching something very deep, and not only for you, but also for all your whole family. It's terrible. And I was not able to see that when I was transitioning. I was just, self-centered. I was just, okay, this is the solution, and I will go and I will, I will climb the mountain, and it's okay. So I think that's the most dangerous.
Et
So,
Janick, ça se trouve, on te pose pas cette question. Comment tu te sens et comment tu vas?
um, so Janick, what are you feeling like today, and what are you feeling like basically now that you've changed your life, that you've detransitioned?
I'm just amazed. I'm thankful to God. I'm just amazed. It's like finding myself in Him. There is no greater freedom than this. I can tell you. I was sure I was free by being frank. I was sure that I was living my best life. But now that I have been able to go through all of this detransitioning journey, I feel so happy and free. It's unspeakable. I'm amazed and so thankful. Absolutely.
C'est comme une libération en fait. Elle est complètement libérée, elle s'est jamais sentie aussi bien.
Je voulais juste rajouter pourquoi j'ai posé cette question, parce que je le vois dans ton visage par rapport à la dernière fois, tu es encore plus lumineuse.
Glory to God. I'm so glad.
Donc c'est pour ça que je t'ai posé cette question. Yes. Alors, si tu devais résumer ton parcours, non pas en termes d'identité, mais en termes de souffrance, comment, le décrirais-tu?
How would you describe your road in terms of suffering?
This is a good question, and it means like we have to be aware that those people who are asking to change their body, they are in a deep and real sufferance for sure, as I was. For me, it was not fake. I was sure of myself. I was disgusted by this body. I was not able to love myself. I tried many times to kill myself or destroy myself in many ways. So I would say, yeah, sure. For me, surgery was the only option. That's the only thing I wanted. Even though they told me, okay, there are a lot of risks. You will be sterile. Maybe you will die, and you have to sign those stuff when you go to surgery. But I was like, no problem, because I wanted to be in accordance with what I felt inside. But then detransitioning was very hard also. Um, First, because I think I was in Europe probably one of the first. And so the doctor was looking at me like this and thinking I was crazy. And especially when you said that you heard God speaking to you, they're like, okay, she's really crazy. But I don't care. Absolutely, I don't care. I know that I have done what I was supposed to. I know that I'm making my father, heavenly father, happy. And this is feeding me more than anything else. And today, my joy, I find my joy in him, knowing that I love him the best way I can by being who he created me to be. So even though I'm still, in I can tell you I'm in a weird body. Um, I'm happy. I don't have any regrets of doing this way back, or finding myself as I was supposed to be. So, yeah.
Hem, donc en fait, bah, la souffrance, c'était déjà il y avait beaucoup d'effets secondaires et tout ça, pour la transition, mais Janick ne pensait qu'à la transition. C'est plus pour la détransition que c'était très difficile, d'autant plus que, elle était en Europe et quand elle disait au docteur qu'elle avait changé, que c'était Dieu qui lui avait inspiré ça, la source, quelque chose, les médecins la prenaient pour complètement folle et c'était une des premières à détransitionner en Europe. Mais en fait, voilà, la récompense, la connexion avec Dieu vaut plus que toute la souffrance.
Quelle part de toi tu cherchais à fuir et quelle part tu recherchais à révéler à ce moment-là?
Mm, okay.
When you started to transition, what were you trying to flee and which part of yourself were you trying to reveal? And same thing when you detransitioned.
Um, when I was in my journey of detransitioning, I asked God what happened to me. Why did I went to this difficult stuff? And I was like, what was the root of it? And God showed me and teach me a lot about. He taught me about, um, the part that a mother have, and the part that a father has in the children, to help them to be built. And I discovered that the father is the one, um, building up the identity of children. And when I was looking at my father, I was not looking at him as, oh, maybe one day I could have a husband very nice and like him. But I was looking at him like, okay, when I would be elder in my age, I would be like him. So here I went through a something very dysphoric, actually. I was not seeing my father the right way. And my father was not able to build me in my identity as a woman. And also my mother was not able to be an example of femininity. So I think that I was trying to fly away this femininity I saw with my mom. She was suffering herself. And so I was just trying to this, avoid to be a female. And that it was more convenient for me to be a man. And it was like a norm. It was like, that's who I am. And then when I did transition, I I find myself in God when He revealed Himself as a Father. He gave me a revelation of His love, unconditional love, but also He taught me about His righteousness. And I realized that loving God is not just about you and your pleasure and your joy, but it's about dying to self and living for Him as a living sacrifice. So now for sure, I'm a woman, happy and so, yeah, so glad to be a woman. But I'm more than that. I'm His daughter, and I found myself in this. Absolutely.
Oui, quand elle transitionnait, donc Janick cherchait à fuir, sa part de féminité parce que la mère avait souffert, le père n'était pas forcément non plus un bon exemple et n'a pas aidé à développer sa féminité. Quand elle a détransitionné et qu'elle a trouvé Dieu, elle a vu en Dieu vraiment la part, du père et tout ça. Donc là, elle a cherché justement à retrouver sa féminité parce qu'en fait, Dieu lui a donné quelque part son père et sa mère ne lui ont pas donné.
Qu'est-ce que la transition t'a appris sur toi que tu n'aurais jamais découvert autrement?
What did transitioning teach you that would you will never have discovered otherwise?
Maybe that I'm very stubborn. I would say this. Probably this is the point. I can be, yeah, I can be very rebellious. Um, I
Ah,
was in shock. I was in shock when God spoke to me and said that the point for me, the reason why was rebellion. I was like, "What? Me? Rebellious?" And he said, "Yeah, because when you try to transition, it's like if you say, 'I'm my own God. I know better than you what I need to be or I'm supposed to be.' So it's putting yourself in a place where you are just adoring or worshiping yourself. I know it can sound very weird, but that's exactly this what it is. And I love this verse in Isaiah 45 verse 9. It's let me read it to you. It's woe to him who strives with his maker. Let the potsherd strive with the butchers of the earth. Shall the clay say to him who forms it, what are you making? Or shall your handiwork say, he has no hands? And actually I was like this clay, um, striving with God, saying, okay, maybe you want me to be a plate, but I'm a ball. I'm not a plate, I'm a ball. And I was rebellious. And this taught me this, absolutely.
Hem, en fait, ça a appris justement à Janick déjà qu'elle était très têtue et ensuite, qu'elle était en rébellion quelque part et qu'elle se battait avec, son créateur, avec Dieu, quelque part.
Janick, est-ce que tu sais qu'aujourd'hui tu as une mission?
Do you know you have a mission today?
Yes, I do. I
Oui.
do.
Y a-t-il encore aujourd'hui des zones de ton histoire que tu ne comprends pas totalement?
Are there still parts of your story that you don't understand yourself?
Well, I don't care. I will tell you honestly, I don't care. The fact that there is things probably I don't know like this. I cannot tell you. Yes, there is this thing. I don't know exactly, but I don't care. My point, my goal now is to run my race, share this testimony, help people not to go into it, help those family who are just lost because they have a boy or a girl thinking is a boy or is a girl, and they are just struggling with this ideology which is predominant today in our society. And that, there is, for me it's terrible because we are telling the parents, what do you prefer, having a living boy or a death girl? What do you prefer? So we are taking those families in hostage, like hostage. They are not able to finally to accept or not. They are forced to accept it. They are forced to say, yeah, okay, I will call you Paul, and maybe it was Janet, but I will call you Paul because it's what you want, and okay, you will be alive. And we are taking them as hostage of this, and it makes me, I'm very I'm struggling with this because I'm like, yeah, I'm frustrated to see this and to see that there is only one direction. And if you try to say something different, we will say that you are transphobic or you don't like people, like you don't like the LGBT community. It's not about not loving them. It's trying to give some people another direction, another option. You're not forced to go into all of this to find yourself. There is a greater power, a greater freedom if you can just accept yourself as you are. And I don't think that you can be born as a trans or as an homosexual. I don't think so. I think that you go through this because of traumas, because of, you know, difficulties, abuse, a lot of abuse, dysfunctional places and families. I do believe this. So I don't care about what don't understand about myself. It's no longer I will live. It's not the matter of it. The most important for me is to help others, not to go into it.
En fait, ce que dit Janick, c'est qu'on n'est pas né transsexuel, homosexuel et tout ça et tout est fait pour imposer ça aux gens. Or, il y a une autre perspective à ça et elle fait tout pour expliquer ça aux gens, qu'on ne n'est pas comme ça.
Est-ce que tu t'es déjà pardonné sur certaines décisions?
Have you forgiven yourself for certain decisions?
Absolutely. That was a major key to go through it because forgiveness will set you free. And if you don't forgive yourself, you will not be able to overcome things and situations. So for sure, I had to go through it, and I'm thankful God helped me to forgive myself, especially for the bad the pain I've caused to my parents, to Laurence, for the conviction I shared with a lot of people that fall into this conception. What was and this conception was a lie, but because I was so convicted, for them they were like, okay, maybe we need to accept this as a truth. And so for sure, yeah, I had to forgive myself for this, absolutely, and I did, and praise God for that.
Donc, Janie, comme s'est pardonnée, à tout parce qu'il faut savoir se pardonner, à soi-même et en fait, elle s'est pardonnée tout c le mal qu'elle a fait à ses parents, le mal qu'elle a fait, la souffrance qu'elle a provoquée à Laurence, elle s'est pardonnée et c'est voilà, c'est elle a réussi à se pardonner.
Aujourd'hui, quel regard portes-tu sur, l'accompagnement médical et psychologique que tu as reçu?
Um, how do you see the medical and psychological help that you receive as of today?
So when I transition, I would say that in Switzerland things were pretty good because you were not allowed to, you know, maybe wake up in the morning thinking that you were like a horse, and in the night having your paperwork act like yes you are a horse, which you can basically do today. You really had to go through 2 years, and to see doctors and to have tests and yeah, different kind of stuff to go through it before having your hormones and then surgeries. So but as for now, as for today, I see that it's no longer the case. I'm having meetings with people, young people, that had surgery without having any psychiatric um, um, therapy or following up. It's crazy what's happening right now.
Hem, Là, ce que dit Yannick, c'est que, il y a il y a il y a des gens qui ont la chirurgie, et tout ça, qui n'ont pas de suivi médical, pas de suivi psychologique, donc c'est, voilà, c'est terrible.
Alors qu'à mon époque, c'était pas le cas. À mon époque, c'était plus encadré.
D'accord,
When Yannick did it, there was more, supervising and everything.
OK. Penses-tu qu'on pose suffisamment de questions aux personnes avant d'entamer une transition? Mais je dirais plus large.
Do people have enough, do people have enough questions asked before they transition?
Well, I think it depends for sure. Um, for any situation, each situation is, you know, unique. So for sure, I think it depends. But basically, what I see today and the people I can, you work with, they sharing stories with me. It's unbelievable. they are just into this one-way focus dimension where people, as soon as they heard that this person was in trouble for any reason, it's teenagehood, so sometimes it's not the best years of your life. They are just questioning who they are, and directly, oh, maybe you're not a boy, you're a girl, or maybe not a girl, you're a boy. It's like it's directly. So it means to me that for somebody which is very, when we are teenagers, we can be very um like movable and shakable. And so you start with this idea. They go on the social media, they see testimonies, they see how to do it, and it's like a grain that you are planting, a seed you are planting. It's just a seed that you are planting in the heart of somebody, and this seed will produce something, absolutely. And so I'm a little scared today to see what's going on with the young people. I just have the feeling that we are giving them one solution, one direction, and that's it.
Oui, oui, là, il y a très peu de solutions qui sont offertes aux jeunes. C'est une solution, dans une direction, il y a rien d'autre. Donc il y a très, très peu de solutions qui sont données aux jeunes et c'est malheureux.
Là, j'ai une question. Je sais que Janick, que tu voyages beaucoup et tu rencontres beaucoup de personnes. Que penses-tu, des discours affirmant que la transition sauve des vies?
What do you think of people saying that transitioning can save lives?
Well, as for me, when I was 24 and that I transitioned, I was sure that that transition saved my life. Um, so I can understand that people they have this feeling, but what they don't realize is that we are changing their body, but it's not because you have surgery that you are what you think you are. Surgery will not make you a man. Surgery will not make you a female. So it's just a lie. But because we are just trapped into this lie, for a lot of people, or many of them, they feel better and they think it's okay. And maybe for some of them, they will go through their own life and it's gonna be okay. But they don't realize deeply that they are just playing a role. And this role is not truth. That's really what I was living personally. I was in a role. But when God spoke to me and showed me that I was deceiving myself, listen, deceiving myself, I was in shock. It showed me that you can maybe wear a disguise, like you can maybe look like Superman. But if you try to fly from the window, you will kill yourself. And I was thinking that I was Superman. But God revealed myself to, like, it was like instantly I knew that I knew. And when he was looking at me, even though I was playing a game, even though I didn't thought that I was playing a game, I was real in my game. But he showed me that this was just like somebody else, but it was not who I was really. So I was in shock to realize that that when God was looking at me with Laurence, he was looking at two women, not a man and a woman. So I was just deceiving myself, deceiving others, and deceiving everyone, actually.
Donc Janick, a compris, par sa communication avec Dieu qu'en fait elle jouait un rôle, que ce n'était pas la vraie elle, que c'était un rôle, un déguisement et qu'elle était en train de se trahir elle-même, de trahir les autres et ça, c'est très important à comprendre.
Il y a une question aussi qui est très importante et je pense que, il y en a beaucoup qui posent pas souvent cette question, qui est pourtant primordiale. On ne parle pas des conséquences, à long terme, des traitements hormonaux, de la chirurgie. et je voudrais mettre un point et un axe sur ce sujet-là, et je voudrais avoir ton avis par rapport à ça.
Uh, what what are the side effects of transitioning with the hormonal therapy and everything? What are the side effects?
Well, actually, that's right what you said, Jellico. We are not as doctors. Well, maybe when I did it, I was maybe more informed. I just have this feeling that today they are not giving information as they should do. So, um, like for instance, they are trying to stop the process of becoming a man or becoming a woman when they are teenage in their teenage time, and they're saying it's not going to be a problem. You will not have any trouble to have to be a father or mother later if you stop it. If you just realize, oh no, it was not this, and you want to stop it, you will not have any problem to conceive later. I don't believe it. I think it's a lie. I think we are saying this without having any time to check if really it's the case. So I think we are creating a major problem, and it's going to be a trouble for those this generation now, which are just trying to stop this process of becoming. And I think we will pay this later. And now when you go through surgery, for sure there is consequences, as for instance, um, you live with it's you cannot change anymore something that have been you cannot have it anymore if it was removed. You cannot add it if it was removed. You cannot remove it if it was added. So we are just with people that they will have mutilated bodies, and they will have to accept this like this. Maybe one day they will work on it to try to redo, but I'm sure, like for instance, my voice, I cannot change it anymore. So when I'm on the phone, people they said Mr. And I'm like, this is Mrs. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. And then it's always all the time. I cannot have a phone call without people telling me Mister. So and I get it. It's just something that you cannot reverse. And so surgery the same. You cannot reverse surgery. It's not possible. And for a lot of people, they don't tell this to them. It's like one time again, it's just the focus direction. You go into this direction, and it's going to be okay. So I think it's very dangerous, and especially for the young people trying to stop the development of their science. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Hem, En fait, il y a des effets secondaires, mais ça, personne n'en parle parce que tout le monde dit que c'est normal, que la personne, n'aura pas d'effet et tout, mais il y a des effets secondaires. Hem, la chirurgie, mutile et ce qui est perdu ne reviendra jamais et en plus, il y a psychologiquement, si une personne détransitionne, les gens continuent à l'appeler monsieur au téléphone et tout, donc il y a des effets secondaires.
Et ben justement, selon toi, quels sont ces effets, secondaires? Parce que on parle, mais concrètement, pour que les jeunes adolescents ou adolescentes entendent ces mots, qui peuvent être, durs à entendre.
What are the side effects, in a concrete way so people can understand them? And it can be very hard to say it, but what are the side effects?
So as for me, if I'm just saying, taking my example, as you can hear, my voice is a male voice. Then my body is mutilated. I will never have woman's body completely again. I will never be able to have children. So now I'm not young enough, but I cannot. Even if I change it earlier, I would never have been able to be a mother. Um, so I remember this young girl she's thinking that she's a man, okay? and she was telling me, well, I hope I will be able to have children later. And I was like, well, you will not. If you go through transition, don't think, please stop think that you can be a mother. It's not going to be possible for you. So people, it's like, I don't know, living in fairy tales. I don't know. They don't realize it. And also, when you take testosterone, you are putting your body, which was not made to have testosterone, you have putting your body into high consequences, especially for your heart. You can have heart attack because of your um, vein system, which was not designed to receive testosterone. So I don't remember the word in English, but you have like blockage coming into the veins, and you can die from this. Absolutely. So as for me, that's an example that came. Yeah, absolutely. Mhm.
Hem, ce qu'elle explique en gros, c'est qu'il y a des effets. Par exemple, la voix de Janick, c'est une voix masculine et ça ne partira pas. Hem, il y a ensuite une impossibilité d'avoir des enfants, malgré tout ce qui est dit, et ensuite, il y a des effets, notamment des risques de crise cardiaque, puisque de la testostérone est donnée à un organisme qui n'est pas censé en recevoir.
Ouais, c'est grave, hein. C'est extrêmement grave, hein. Donc c'est pour ça, si les adolescents et adolescentes entendent ce témoignage, n'hésitez pas à envoyer un mail à Janick qui répondra.
Si, if there's, any young people that would like, more explanations and about the side effects, could they send a message to Janick and she'll reply? It's
Absolutely.
very important.
Yeah.
Merci. Que dirais-tu à un médecin qui accompagne aujourd'hui un adolescent ou une adolescente en questionnant, qui se pose des questions par rapport à tout? Qu'est-ce que tu pourrais dire à ce médecin?
What would you tell a doctor that's following a young person that's having the same questions as you were having?
Um, well, first of all, it's important to realize that those young people are really suffering, but we have to explore first the family dynamic. We have to explore what are the reason for these young people to try to avoid his identity or her identity. Um, I'm having meetings with people struggling since 4 years. And there is two things always coming. First, it's the abuse. It can be emotional, spiritual. It can be because of sexual abuse, and abuse is always coming, always in different ways. And then the second thing is the fact that they don't have a father. This generation is the generation that is the more with the lack of the father. No other generation before this one has a few father. And I'm not saying not having a father as somebody present physically. Sometimes you have your father physically present, but he's not standing into his um, position to build you up as a son or as a daughter. And so, as a doctor, I will encourage you to go through those two things. Check if this person has been through abuse, different kind of abuse, and please check the father questioning. Question the father. Who is your father? Is your father present? Is your father building you up in your identity? Yes or no? And I'm not saying this to accuse parents. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not trying to say, well, it's all the responsibility of the father or the mother. I know they are trying to do their best. But what I can say is today, this society is rejecting the father purpose, the father embrace. They are rejecting it. We are in a society where feminism is just, oh, they can do everything by themselves. They don't need male. It's a big and huge mistake. We need males. We need for you to be at your place and to play your role. It's so important. You have a role, man. And I just want to encourage you to take a stand for your masculinity and to be the male that we need as women, for sure. Um, so I will encourage this doctor not to hurry into and to rush into giving hormones, or because when you have a young people coming, well, if you don't give me hormones I will kill myself. Well, the doctor, they are just freaking out, so they are giving you hormones, so they have not the responsibility of not giving you what you want. But it's a huge mistake. It's not helping young people to give them what they want like this. Please try to check if there is not an issue with the abuse and with the lack of the father.
Donc beaucoup de médecins, justement, donnent directement des hormones aux jeunes parce qu'ils disent qu'ils vont se tuer s'ils n'ont pas d'hormones, donc ils ont peur. Mais en fait, ils ne posent pas les 2 questions essentielles. Est-ce qu'il y a eu des abus et si oui, de quel type? Et quel est le rôle du père dans la vie? Parce que, ce que dit Janick, c'est que dans cette société, il y a de moins en moins de pères. Ils sont pas toujours absents, mais le père n'est plus respecté, le père n'a plus sa place et il ne participe pas comme il faudrait à la construction de l'identité en tant que fille, en tant que fille, en tant que fils. Donc ces 2 questions, quel est le est-ce qu'il y a eu des abus et quelle est la place du père, le rôle du père dans la vie? C'est 2 questions à poser, très importantes.
Avec le recul, comment décrirais-tu ton expérience spirituelle? Rupture, révélation ou reconstruction?
So is your spiritual experience, a rupture, a revelation, or a rebuilding, or everything?
Oh wow, it was everything all in one. Yeah.
What did
First, I had to die to self, to what I thought. Uh, he came to me through this revelation, and then he rebuilt. He rebuilt everything. So yeah.
C'était en fait tout, il fallait que je meure à moi-même et tout a été reconstruit par cette révélation.
Yes. Comment garder une forme, d'humilité face à une expérience aussi forte?
How can you be humble in the face of such a strong experience?
Because I know that I was not able to change myself. He did it. So I know that everything has been done because of Jesus, because of what he did at the cross for me. So, and because I tried so hard, you have to understand that I tried to change myself, but I was not able. I really had to surrender. And when I surrendered, he did. So all the glory to him, not to me. So it's not, I'm not, I don't think so. I don't think maybe it's pride to say this, but I don't think that I'm struggling with pride because I just know that I'm super thankful to him for what he did. It's all about him.
Ben, en fait, c'est tout vient de Dieu parce qu'il a changé, Janick alors qu'elle ne pouvait pas se changer elle-même. Donc, tout vient de Dieu. Donc c'est ça l'humilité, en fait.
Ouais, tu lui as donné un petit coup de pouce? Tu sais, de temps en temps, un petit coup de pouce, ça fait pas de
To,
mal.
So
adieu.
you helped, you gave God a little nudge. You
Well, you know, God God is always offering you something. Is always giving you a choice. And for sure, he doesn't want to have robots. He doesn't want to have robots. He wants for you to be a partner. to be a partner of what he wants to do. So uh, that's why I love my God so much. He's not an abuser. He's always trying to build with you something. And it's amazing because he doesn't need me. He's self-sufficient. He's absolutely self-sufficient. He doesn't need me to be happy but he wants me. And this is why I love my God so much. He's so beautiful, so kind, so powerful, yet so ready to receive me as I am to fulfill my destiny. Yeah.
Ce que dit Janick, c'est que Dieu n'a pas besoin d'elle et pourtant il l'accueille, il n'a pas besoin qu'elles sont heureuses, pourtant il la rend heureuse et il est toujours là avec elle.
Mais il y a aussi le fait aussi que c'est très important, c'est de reprendre confiance et puis, bah, surtout de dire que le masculin que tu as peut-être cherché, dans la famille, hein, je parle, et c'est comme ça que tu as pu peut-être prendre conscience.
So, basically you took consciousness through God, through books, through everything.
He helped me to understand what went through, what the reason was at the bottom of it. So for sure, he gave me a clear, I will say maybe clear vision of what happened, and he called me to come to his heart, to find myself in him. So he rebuilt the truth in my heart to see him as a father, but also to see him as a mother. And he gave me this consolation. He gave me this comfort of this lacking father, of this lacking mother. And to be honest with you today, he is my everything.
Hem, il m'a fait voir, il m'a donné cette conscience, il a été comme une mère qui manquait, le père qui manquait. Il a été tout ça pour moi, il m'a donné confiance, comme ça et il est tout pour Janick aujourd'hui.
Alors, je vais avoir une ou 2 questions par rapport à ton livre. Quel passage a été le plus difficile à écrire, émotionnellement et moralement?
What was the most difficult passage for you to write, emotionally and morally?
Well, maybe when we broke with Laurence and the start of this transitioning journey, because when I started to write this book, I was sure I was already outside of it, but at the same time, I was not completely genic at that moment. So I would say, yeah, the broke up and then the start of the journey, the transitioning journey. I would say this, yeah.
Alors, c'était la séparation et le début de la détransition. C'est ça qui était le plus difficile à écrire.
As-tu parfois peur que ton témoignage soit mal interprété ou utilisé à contresens?
Are you sometimes frightened that your testimony will be reversed, you badly used, if you like?
I don't have any fear. The only fear I have is the fear of the Lord. So I know I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I know this testimony is challenging and that there is a lot of people trying to accuse me and destroy me in many ways. I received threats. I know maybe that I can even be, injured or even killed because of it. I have no fear of it. I know who I am, where I go, where I come from. So I have no problem with it. It's not, my point today is really to love God and to do what he calls me to do. So that's the point.
Donc, moi, je n'ai peur de rien, mis à part de mon créateur, en gros et en fait, je reçois beaucoup de menaces et tout. Janick reçoit beaucoup de menaces, mais elle n'a pas peur parce qu'elle sait que Dieu est là, qu'il la protège.
J'ai encore une dernière question. Comment trouves-tu l'équilibre entre raconter ton histoire et ne pas généraliser ton expérience?
How do you find the balance between telling your story and not generalizing it?
Well, this is funny that you ask me this because we are just generalizing a way to 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 help the people, and this way is just one direction. So anyway, this is funny. Um, I To be honest with you, as I said, it's like 4 years now that I'm following up people struggling, and the fact that I always see the same pattern coming, like abuse and the lack of the father, this shows me that there is really a point here, and that we have to work on it, and not to close our eyes and saying, well, everything is okay. No, there is really a problem with the fact that the father is missing, and that people are going through a lot of abuse, different kind of abuse, even in the family area, even at school, or everywhere. So I'm not generalizing things, but I just see the same pattern, and I think we need to open our eyes and be willing. We need to be willing, going through this, and asking us the right questions.
Donc, Janick ne généralise pas. En fait, elle explique juste qu'il y a quand même un pattern qui se présente, un pattern d'abus de toutes sortes et un pattern d'absence du père, d'absence de rôle du père. Donc ça, c'est pas généralisé, mais c'est des constantes que l'on retrouve.
Yes, et donc pour terminer, à la fin sans traduction, Yannick, je te laisse, si de dire aussi le mot de la fin et si tu veux rajouter quelque chose?
So how would you end this interview and what would you like to add?
Well, thank you so much, Zeljko, for inviting me. It's such an honor, a privilege, but also a responsibility to share this story. And I really hope for this story to be that it's going to be a before and after for people, and that they will really be interested into questioning why they are suffering so much and what are the options. I just want to let you know, you, if you are struggling with your identity, that there is other options than just going into surgeries and to deceive yourself thinking that you are something you're not. It's not because you feel maybe tired, that, or depressed, that you will kill yourself tomorrow. No, there is options, there is other possibilities, and I just want to encourage you not to hurry up and to run into one direction. I want to also encourage you to develop your relationship with God, because if you try to find in yourself, by yourself, a solution, you will come at the end and thinking that there is no options. So I just want to encourage you, maybe start reading the Bible, maybe join a good church, maybe just ask God to reveal himself to you as the Father he is. And I want to let you know, if you are struggling, if you feel that you are by yourself, alone, if you feel that you are abused, or it's a reality that you are abused, or you are lacking your father, God wants to heal your heart, restore you, give you a future and a hope. So it can be this mother for you, it can be this father for you. So I just want to encourage you to find yourself in him, discover who you are really. There is a purpose for your life, there is a future for you, and I encourage you to give him a chance to reveal yourself, and to show you who you are in him. So that's the point. That's what I want to add. Visit our website, www.transforfreedom.com. And if you want to write and reach out, please write to me at info@transforfreedom.com. So thank you again, Zeljko. It was such an honor and a pleasure to be with you.
Thank
Donc,
you, merci beaucoup et merci beaucoup Paul pour, m'avoir accompagné pour cette
ben,
traduction.
avec grand plaisir à tous les
Thank
2.
you, Paul. Merci.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Merci beaucoup. Bonne soirée à vous.
Bonne soirée.